Well, hello, 645. I'm here at the Botanical Gardens in Sydney with one of my mates, Lachlan Payne. He's had an interesting life and he's going to share some of his story with us today. Lachlan, these guys probably don't know you at all. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, my name's Lachlan Payne. 31, married. I'm studying at the moment. I'm studying graphic design, but I work in photography and magazines and all that sort of stuff. I play soccer, and yeah, I go to Christchurch St Ives, where I met Paul, and I've been there for about 18 years probably.
So 18 years?
Long time.
So it is a long time. Now, has it always been smooth sailing, those 18 years, or have there been bumps along the way? Or
Plenty of bumps. Life's never smooth sailing. Yeah, I probably started going to church when I was in high school. Went along with a friend from school to youth group, and I'd probably say I became a Christian year 8 or year 9, around about that sort of time. And life for me at school as a Christian was pretty straightforward. I went to church every week. Yeah, went to Bible study. Everything was pretty much all roses. But when I left school, I think life got a lot more complicated. Had some problems at home, a few personal problems, health problems, all sorts of stuff. Dropped out of uni a couple of times. While all my friends sort of went on their merry way, and things got a little bit difficult, and life just didn't really turn out the way I sort of thought it would. And probably in my early 20s, I just decided that it was all too much, and I decided to walk away from it all and walk away from the church.
So when this happened, when you stopped trusting in God because of these hard things that were happening, what happened? How did things change? Yeah.
Well, at the time, I moved away from home for about 3 years, and it's very difficult, I found, to be a Christian when you've got no network of accountability at all. So everything was in place for me just to give up, and that's what I did. So I was studying at the time, but I just, I stopped trusting God and started trusting in myself, basically. So I just did what your average, I guess, young guy in his 20s would do. I drank a lot, I partied hard, and I got involved with a non-Christian girl for a couple of years, and that was actually really damaging in the long term. And yeah, I just lived life on my own terms, basically.
Now, it's obvious that didn't keep going, because you're here now, and I know I've known you for several years, and that's not what I know. Yeah. So what happened to bring you back? Was there something big happen, or there lots of little things? Did someone bring you back, or yeah, what happened there?
Yeah, no moment of epiphany or a lightning bolt or a shining light, probably just lots of little things. I think as hard as life was for me as a 18, 19, 20-year-old trying to be Christian, life as a non-Christian was no more fulfilling. And it didn't bring me any more happiness. And in the end, I just thought it's time to go back to God. I was living overseas at the time. I could have stayed longer, but I decided it's time to go back to Sydney. It's time to reconnect with God and with some old friends. And I did that. I think God was convicting me to do so, and over a period of time, His grace, I think, transformed me, and He forgave me for all the mistakes that I made. And yeah, I'm here today, which is great, and it's a testimony to God's grace and not my own goodness or anything like that.
And so, across all of this, is there maybe two bits of advice that you could give us all at 645? Yeah, what God's taught you from it.
Yeah, sure. Look, I think the main thing is that God is a gracious God, and God's grace is sufficient. And no matter how much I stuff up, God's grace is there to cover that up. And that's not a license to go and do whatever you want. It's just a comfort. Having said that, I live with the consequences of the decisions I've made, and I would have much rather, in hindsight, never done it and never left God, because I know that God's way is better than my way, and that trusting in Him is better than trusting in myself. And I think if you're maybe struggling at the moment, and maybe you're at a fork in the road and you're thinking, I can either keep going or I can quit, then take it from me, your way is nowhere near as good as God's way. And I guess one other thing is, if you've got friends who have chucked it in, or maybe who are struggling, try hard not to judge them. And I'm not saying don't be discerning about what's right and wrong, but you're better off praying for them and loving them and assuring them that no matter how much they've stuffed up, that God's grace is there, and that His way is infinitely better than anything we can come up with ourselves.
Well, thank you for sharing your story with us. Yeah, some great lessons there. Hopefully we can take them home and learn.
Cool, thanks mate.
Thanks.